Hi everybody, I'm Rusty Wallace. This is WIN. Today, we're going to the extreme. No question, folks, this is Planet Extreme. The altitude, the attitude, and adrenaline. It's Supercross. It explores the no-fear zone.
No one understands.
Scared, you know, you're kind of defeating yourself right at the beginning, and you know, if you kind of put that aside, sometimes you forget about it. Adrenaline starts flowing, you forget about all of that, and you just go out there, turn your brain off a little bit, and go. Right now our lives are filled with grief, but no one understands me. Behind these eyes are the victories, yeah.
It's really important, you know. I think that separates the top riders from the, you know, the riders that go in week to week getting out of the top 5, you know. It makes a champion if you got that positive attitude and you want to win and you're not afraid of anything. Can't be afraid to take bumps and bruises and get hurt. You know, you have to be strong.
You know, once you're up there and you can hit handlebars, knocking another guy, you come down to the ground, you know, everybody hits the ground every now and then, and I have myself, and, you know, you really don't want to. The dirt out there is really hard.
I'm pumped, man. Supercross is crazy.
No one understands me.
I do it weekly, I do it daily, and it's just something I do, but I mean, I know a lot of friends that I ride with, and they look at me like I'm crazy. So I think it has a little to do with, you know, what you're comfortable with, and I guess what you don't have up there.
Wow, now that is extreme. I mean, to get on a motorcycle and hit 40, 50 feet in the sky with 15 other bikes all around, man, what a rush. It gets me geared up just watching. Stay tuned. Coming up, we're going to talk more about Supercross hang time.
WIN is presented to you by Allied Signal's Fram filter products. Fram, you can pay a little now or a lot later. And by Autolite spark plugs and wire and cable products. Autolite spark plugs, guaranteed for 2 years, no matter how far you go.
Well, here we are in Charlotte, North Carolina, getting ready for the Supercross race. And as you can see, we're bringing in a lot of dirt. This is a really unbelievable job these guys are doing. Just tons of dirt they're bringing for this event. And you know, Rich Winkler designs this whole track for these guys, and he's doing an unreal job. This ought to be a great event.
To ride on a track like this wouldn't be any fun at all for you unless you were a professional. I mean, it's just way too demanding and way too much air and stuff for the average guy.
Main event, here we go!
You got basically 2 things you're looking for. Supercross sells air, so you're looking for spectacular air for the crowd. But to the riders, really, you know, some of the stuff that looks really spectacular to the crowd is almost kind of the easy stuff for them. I mean, when they're floating through the air, they're not hammering over bumps, and they're not particularly having to pick where they're going to go. So we're trying to get a mix between big air that's spectacular for the crowd and more technical, rider-intensive kind of stuff that makes for a good race and that the riders like.
My job is to
shape it up to make sure it has the right shape to build all the jumps. What I'm doing now is track walking it, compacting it so when they ride over it, that it won't run out. I got to walk it, and you keep walking, going over it. This is the start of the triple, you know, the biggest jump. And if this jump here ain't perfect, then they don't triple.
As the director of the United States Supercross Series, I oversee the operations side, the actual logistics of coming and putting this together. I coordinate the program from the time when the dirt's coming into the building till the time when the riders are pulling out of the back gate.
Hi there, I'm Mike Kudrowski from Team Kawasaki. Why don't you come with me and we'll take a lap around the Supercross track. Then we come into a double jump, go around this, single, that one. Here's another backward ski jump. Here's another triple jump. Come up, tabletop. Then we do a step up, the finish line jump, a double, go around. There'll be a whoop section put in right here. And how'd you like that?
Hey, Rusty, when you think you got Daytona handled, why don't you come try to get some air on one of my tracks?
You know, I think I'm getting tired of going 200-mile-an-hour in circles all the time. I think I could do this. I think I could jump these jumps. I might change from stock cars to motorcycle racing. These guys, I mean, they go way in the air. I don't know, maybe I'm talking too much. Maybe I wouldn't be good at that. I think I'll just stick to driving the cars and talking to you, but man, these guys really get high.
It's a lot of timing because you got to hit it so you don't land too short or too far. If you land too short, it hurts.
You know, there's only a certain amount of things you can do on bikes. Also, when you're doing a 90-foot triple, because you don't want to come up short. Triple jumps is 3 jumps. When you come up to them, the ramp, the takeoff's probably around 10 feet, and it goes 90 feet across to a third one. You know, it's something that we do every day, so, you know, for the crowd standpoint, it looks gnarly, but for us, it's just another day at work, you know.
A lot of guys say they don't, but I can't believe that. I know I have a little fear, you know. Coming up to a 65-foot triple, it's no easy leap there, you know.
That's a technique that started a couple of years ago. I think Johnson originally started it. If your bike's going up in the air and for some reason you kind of, your body position isn't 100% correct, you're a little bit too far over the back and the front comes up high, the way to counteract that is you just lock up the back brake and it automatically brings the front wheel down so you can land down the downslope nicely. Air brake, something similar to that. I don't know, it just slows up the forces of the motor and just automatically brings the front wheel down.
These bikes come race ready out of Japan. And it is a production-based motorcycle, but it's a little easier for Japan to start out, just build the bike for us and send it over here.
This is the closest thing the average guy can get to a factory bike. This is in a $5,000 price range. And you can ride this right out of the showroom and do some of the stuff those guys were doing, but some of the things you're going to see different. The suspension set up on each one of those bikes is individual for the rider. All the factory bikes have what's called work suspension. Basically, the suspension is a one-up system made and suited and valved for that rider.
When you're flying 60 feet in the air at about 60 miles an hour sometimes, it's definitely an extreme sport.
Now that was only practice, and they were looking like a combination of Evel Knievel and the Ice Capades. Now one of the most famous jumps is called the Knack-Knack, patented by Jeremy Mr. Showtime McGrath. And you'll meet Showtime when we come back.
WIN is brought to you by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft, making the world a very cool place.
Brought to you by Jiffy Lube. If it doesn't say Jiffy Lube, it just isn't Jiffy Lube.
Hey, what about the fans here? Now there's one with discriminating taste. You know, I could take my number 2 and put it on the front of one of those bright red Honda 250s. Now, why consider that option? Let's meet the inventor of the Knack-Knack, Honda's #1 rider, Jeremy Showtime McGrath.
Attitude, a lot of people think attitude is everything, and I think, you know, attitude for me is important, but to me it's attitude to be yourself. It's not attitude to be someone you really aren't or portray something that you really aren't. And, you know, I try and be as normal as I can be.
He's super confident in what he can do on the motorcycle. No, I don't think he's crazy at all. It amazes me that he has no fear, or he doesn't think about things. He just goes out there and performs and does his job. You got 10 or 15 minutes still. All right. If you can holler at me.
It's just great, you know, we're best friends, and, you know, we work good together. He knows when to get on me, and, you know, he knows what it takes to motivate me, and that's all that counts.
I'm amazed every time that he gets on this motorcycle and some of the stuff he does. It still amazes me. I keep seeing things that I just go, where did that come from? You know, how does he do that? And it's exciting, and it's great. I'm enjoying life right now a lot.
I would say I'm extremist, yeah. I like the adrenaline rush. I mean, I like it. It's kind of like that movie Point Break, you know. I don't know, went skydiving when I was in Florida, 13,000 feet. That's pretty crazy. Take a jump, put both, you know, I move my right leg over the back fender and put it all on the same side, and I don't know, it's just kind of a patented move that everyone expects to see from me.
Yep, I took off running in a full sprint. I thought something happened, you know, kicked his leg off the bike or something like that. I took off running. I thought, oh God, he's going to get hurt. He went down hard. Next thing I know, he's pulling around. And he comes in. He's like, man, did you see that? Wasn't that cool? I'm like, oh yeah, that was real cool. Don't ever do that again. But you see how much control I have.
So, like, who are you?
I'm Jeremy McGrath.
And who is that?
I'm a builder of the Land Shark here.
Oh, you built this?
Designer, yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you build that too?
Yeah, that's one feature that we had incorporated there.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy McGrath! Cheers for the guy that has 26 Supercross victories, 7 seasons. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Showtime, Jeremy McGrath!
I think you got to have want, and that's the most important thing. There's always that case of talent and stuff like that, but usually if you want something bad enough, you can get it.
You just saw Jeremy McGrath out there. He's one of the world's greatest riders. What about all those colors on his uniform and that helmet designed by an artist? I tell you, all that color really gets these fans excited.
Well, I don't know who they were. If they were good looking, I tried to get in there and get them to sign it. And then...
Great. This is one of the biggest ones, I think. Yeah. Well, pretty much all the professional riders have their different paint artist. You know, I have Troy Lee Designs. He designs most of the top guys' helmets. Yeah, it's, you know, it just makes everything just brighter and a lot more exciting. You know, and everybody's just trying to have the best paint job. You know, trying to have the best outfit.
Gotta get the attention. The helmet is an AXO helmet that, you know, the whole Honda Troy team has, but it's made out of carbon fiber. You can barely feel it on your head. It's really light and comfortable. It has some air vents through the visor here. You know, it's a really comfortable helmet to use, and, you know, I think the biggest thing right now is people are trying to get lighter and lighter. It's, you know, when you're out there for 30 minutes racing, last thing you want to get tired is your neck. So, you know, AXO definitely came out with a good helmet.
Hey, Rusty, riding Supercross really does have its advantages.
Man, no wonder all these kids are into this sport. Coming up, it's race time, Supercross style.
Promotional consideration for WIN is provided by Sony.
Sony ESP electronic shock protection protects your music from almost any jumps, skips, or sudden stops. In the Sony Car Discman CD player.
And National Dragster. Join NHRA today and receive a weekly subscription plus a free members-only T-shirt or a 1994 NHRA season review. Call 1-800-678-4630. And by Allied Signals Bendix Brakes, the best-known name in brakes. Autolite presents Force in Your Face.
You know what I love about all forms of motorsports? The characters. Man, it's like going to Disneyland. Let me tell you something, and they all had nicknames. They called me the Brute, Don the Snake Perdome. You ever hear it? You bet, because he was quick on that Christmas tree. Then in NASCAR, the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt. Rusty, tell him how he beat you up all those years going to that championship. Unbelievable. Kenny Bernstein, the King of Speed. The first guy to run 300 miles an hour in a dragster. Unbelievable. Well, one of my favorites was my funny car racer friend, Ed the Ace McCullough. You're not going to believe this, but it's a God's truth. He was a card dealer in Reno. And you know what? I was in the staging lanes once. He was yelling and screaming and throwing and strutting. Big old boy, tough guy. Sometimes they call him the Ace. Well, this cute little gal walked up and bopped him. You know what she did? She took him from the Ace to a club. Right, Rusty?
Does anybody have any idea what John, old buddy, just said? Remember he said he was going to go run for president? I think he should run for Congress. He talks just like him. Hey, you've heard him. You've met him. Let's kick back and enjoy what they do so well. Here's a Supercross main event.
Get them here, souvenir programs here, programs right here, souvenir programs.
Your whole week revolves around winning the race. You win the race, more than likely you're going to get the chick. Okay, you're going to get your bonus money. You're going to have a good week, you know. So it all carries over. You just got to win that main event. Huh?
So Jeremy Showtime McGrath gets another lap of honor. No surprise there. You know, watching those guys, I think I'll still opt for those roll bars. it's a lot safer. Hey, I'm Rusty Wallace. See you next week on WIN.